Hi everybody, welcome to Monkey Island Madness. This is a live show taped over at Ustream TV. This is impromptu today. These trickerheads got me to stream. I was sitting here working on my Inktober, and I figured it wouldn't hurt just to turn on the camera while I ink it. So I'm going to right now work on some lettering. I am talking to a bunch of women in a live chat, so if you get a chance, come over. I'm normally on Mondays at 1 Eastern. So anyway, all I'm going to do right now is I've got Dumbo drawn. He is my Inktober for day 5. I'll bring him up close. Some of these I really want to do in color, you guys. I really do. But I'm trying to been doing the lettering of the cartoon, the font, hand drawing the lettering. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lettering on here. I'd already measured out. I want 1/2 inch high lettering. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself some guidelines. Move all this junk out of the way. And I didn't leave myself much room, as you can see. I'm not going to color them until they're all done. I'm going to leave the entire book black and white until it's over. A bunch of women. I could have said, my dear friends, hi Eileen, I'm glad you could join us. Eileen, honest to God, yesterday when I was sitting in the treatment room when I opened up Twitter, this is, if you're watching YouTube, sorry about this, but I have to do this because it just absolutely cracked me up. I was sitting in the treatment room with Robert, and fortunately yesterday it wasn't full. There weren't a whole hell of a lot of people there. And I pulled up that tweet and saw that picture of Joe that you sent me. Honest to God, I was laughing. I was just like, oh my God, she's such a nut, Robert. Of course, then I have to tell him what a nut you are, you know. But for you to be sitting out in Boca Raton thinking about me and Joe, that is too hysterical. Crack me up. I'm not kidding. Just changed my whole day. I wasn't having a bad day, but by the time I got back to the treatment center and found out that we were going to be an hour later, I laughed, Eileen. I laughed. Oh my gosh. So anyway, Dumbo has, and this is not the picture I drew. This is just what I'm using as a sample of the lettering. He has circus lettering, so I'm going to use that as my reference because, believe me, I don't do any of this out of my head. I do draw in pencil before I ink it, and I'm not sure if that's cheating, but in my world, it's not cheating. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. All right, I want my middle mark so I know where my circus lettering is going to be. But yeah, that absolutely cracked me up. Made me unpissed off, like, immediately, which was a good thing, because I was trying to be nice to the nurses who let him sit out there. And the lettering isn't going to be perfect, and I don't care. It's okay. It doesn't have to be. But I'll try and get it as close as I can, and I'm going to try and, that may be a little close. Try and cram it all in here, because I don't have a huge amount of space, you know what I mean? If I need to zoom in a little bit, I will. And I'd like to turn off the light for you guys, but I cannot, the other day I learned my lesson, I cannot draw in the dark. My eyes were absolutely aching the other day, so. I'm just right now kind of figuring out the spacing. See if this is all going to fit. And I'll be quiet because I'm drawing, and I can't talk and draw at the same time. That is the art that I don't have yet. Didn't leave quite enough room there, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. And in all honesty, Eileen, there are times that, yeah, Joe can look so hot. And he is the most charismatic person on earth. He must be. Hi, Kimberly. Joe pisses you off. Jake pencils first. What? Oh, Jake pencils first? Well, thank you, Monique. Now I'm feeling better about my bad self. Oh yeah, he definitely can piss off. There's no doubt about that. And if you're wondering what we're talking about on YouTube, if you're watching this, some of the ladies the other night, I don't know if it was Eileen or if it was Jennifer, I finished binging Criminal Minds, and so I needed a new show to start binging because that's generally what I do in the evening because I cannot stand regular TV. And somebody recommended the following. I knew nothing about it, but I started watching it, and I am a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan. It's a lot of intrigue, and it's about a serial killer who gets a bunch of people. He's in prison at the beginning of the show, and he gets all these people, which is the following, right, to do all his dirty work and murder people, and oh my gosh, it's just like, oh. Oh, he was born in Somerset, where your mom was born. Well, cool. Yeah, it is a good show. There's so much intrigue, and you're kind of sitting on the edge of your seat. But generally, when I'm watching TV, I'm also drawing or working in the Beast or whatever. And it's intense. I mean, I'd have to stop what I was doing just to see, because I didn't want to miss anything. Most shows, I don't care if I miss any of it. I think my spacing is good here. We'll see when we're all done, right? Yep, I think the spacing's going to work out just fine. So, this is what I was going to be doing anyway, at least this morning, and then I really got to pay the bills. Do something responsible around here since I did absolutely nothing yesterday. Poor Roxy, I didn't even do her litter box yesterday. That's how bad I suck. She doesn't mind, thank goodness, but yeah, I can't stand it if I let it go more than a day. So, yep, lettering came out pretty darn good. Now I'll just work on fixing it a little bit. And all I'm using to draw with is the Graph Gear 1000 .05 in HB lead. I like HB lead. Yeah, you never know what will happen next. Well, last night I didn't watch it because I had Survivor, and then at 8 o'clock I had to, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, and actually I think I'm crazy, but I started watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey like years ago. It is the total smut TV of the world, but I have to watch it, and they started a new season last night. So that's the one where Teresa and her husband defrauded everybody, and in real life they went to jail, and now she's out of jail, and she's home with the kids, and he's in jail. So they're a bunch of crazy Italian New Jersey women. So I had to watch that. And then after that, I don't know. I guess I turned the TV off or something. I don't know what I did. So yeah, I watched The Real Housewives of New Jersey because I'm a knucklehead. And this lettering is by no stretch of the imagination perfect, but it'll be okay. Yeah, Survivor and The Real Housewives. There is something wrong with me, Eileen. I've never said otherwise. I think I say that 15 times every show. There's really something wrong with me. And now you know it because of the TV shows I choose to watch. I think I started watching, I don't know, I was watching it the night that Teresa dumped the table. I can't believe that there are people like that, frankly. I mean, that is so foreign to me. Okay, my U is a little funky here. One side is bigger than the other. All right, and I would be absolutely lost without my Mono Zero teeny tiny eraser. I am looking at something, but as far as spacing and that sort of stuff, Kimmy, it's just coming out of my head. I'll do the shadowing and all that after I ink it, but yeah. So I am looking at lettering, but if you do this enough, you can do it. If you figure out the style of lettering that you want, you can do it. And, you know, as I'm doing this, what I'm paying attention to is, are my serifs the same size up and down? Are they extending out from the letter about the same amount? Are my angles the same? Yeah. And whatever they come out like at the end of the day, it's all good. Like, see that angle right there? It was so wrong. So I'll go ahead and fix it right now. And if I get too many lines in here, I'll erase and start over. But for what I'm doing, it's really adequate for real. It's just block lettering with a little bit of serif on it, is all. And they're very square letters, so that makes it really easy. Just barely curves on the edges. I'm having a lot of fun with Inktober. The O came out pretty darn good. See, there's a little more space down here than up here, so I'll just try and quickly fix that, and then hopefully when I ink it, it'll be okay. I was looking this morning at my list of things that I want to draw, and then I added to it because some of them I think I'm going to take off. And so I went out and just looked up vintage cartoon characters. And there was a ton I forgot. I mean, when I saw the pictures and stuff like that, it was just like, oh man, I want to do that one. I want to do that one. So my list of, I think I had 30, but I had repeated one or two of them. So my list of 31, and I've known from day one what day 31 is going to be. But my list went up to how many? I think I have 45 or 50 or something on my list now. So I could literally be doing this until Christmas. I have 52 on my list now. So there's a bunch. I don't know that I'll do them all. But yeah, I have 52 potential drawings here. You just got this array. Oh, the Mono Zero. I love this bad boy. Love it. I'm thinking that lettering might be okay. And what I do to see if it's kind of in perspective, like my B is leaning a little bit, I squint at it. Yeah, the B is leaning a little bit, but I don't think it's the letter itself. I think it's the holes inside that are leaning. I think. I'll turn it upside down and see. Yeah, it'll be all right. For what it is what it is. I did olive oil yesterday. I did her face on, here's olive oil with Popeye. Popeye the Sailor Man. I wanted to fit a can of spinach in here, but I didn't want to trash it all out. So I'm trying to keep them pretty much clean as I can. I'll flip through this here in a minute. But yeah, I already did olive oil and sweet pea. I like sweet pea. I wanted to draw sweet pea's whole body, but if you go out and look up vintage cartoon characters, and one of them is not going to be vintage. He is my favorite, but he's not vintage. But I'm doing him anyway. One of these micron pens, and I've got the 1, 3, and the 5 out. Yeah, one of these is about ready for the garbage. And I can't remember which one it is. So, all right, we're ready to ink, I think. I think I'll ink in 3 and do the, yeah, I'm going to ink in 3. This probably is the one that needs to go in the garbage. Oh, you want to see her full body? Okay, okay. I can do that. Yep, this is the one that needs to go in the garbage. If I get it at an angle, it doesn't want to write a good line. And I've already checked my lines on him pretty much, so other than smoothing out the lines, I don't have too much correction to make on the lines here. And I turn it because, for whatever reason, I like drawing toward myself most of the time. Oh, I just goofed up. That's all right. We'll fix it. Can't talk, Artie. Anyway, Eileen, did you hear that the only thing I bought yesterday was the two of the Jane Davenport water brushes? And I'm still out. The jury is still out whether or not I'm in love with them. Just have not decided. I think they release a little bit too much water for the things that I do. I should have, and I kind of told myself, why don't you just get the two Kiritaki that you like, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't. I decided to try something different because sometimes I'm a dumbass. Oh, and this is the drawing that I did upside down that I mentioned at Carol's. I cut the page and taped it. I was not gonna redraw the whole thing, so yep, I cut it and taped it. It's going in the book, so who cares, right? I couldn't believe that. I was like, I am so not redrawing this. I got other stuff I gotta do today. So I hope you guys are doing something. I notice chat is very quiet, which is fine. You need to be doing something. See how the pen skipped there. You're eating a slice. Oh, and I've got my hand up there. Sorry. Working on your dark October stitching. Cool, Monique. Yes, Joe. You were dreaming of him and not shopping. I did go. I went to Michael's. I ran in the bookstore real quick. I was very tempted on a few of the magazines, and I thought, you know what? I know what you'll do. You'll go home, you'll flip through them, they'll go in a pile, and that's the last you'll ever see of them. So either look at them here or don't buy them. So I didn't buy them. And then I ran down to Hobby Lobby and walked through Hobby Lobby, and I just wasn't in the mood yesterday, I guess, because I just didn't see anything there that was appealing. I looked at the Happy Planner stuff, and they are getting a ton of planner stuff, both Michael's and Hobby Lobby. One thing, for those of you who want to try a traveler style notebook, and the Midori or some of those, they've gotten very expensive, some of them. I mean, honestly, some of them, in my opinion, are so not worth what they're asking for them. Well, actually, none of them are. There's scrap of leather and some elastic. Let's get real here. And, but I was looking at Hobby Lobby, and they have a leather-like. I don't want to say it's leather, but it's very leather feeling. Traveler's Notebook for $9.99, And if you use your coupon on it, what does that turn out to be? Like, if you got a 40%, they'd never offer 50, I don't think. Usually theirs are 40%, but you get one every week. What does that turn out to be? Like $6 that you end up paying for the Midori style notebook. So it's back in their planner section. They've got like an entire aisle now of stickers and stamps, and yeah, it was $9.99, and I thought, and the elastic and everything in it was great. I mean, I was very tempted, but I was like, oh my gosh, how many of these do you need, girl? How many? Tell me. So, yeah, I didn't buy it, but I kind of wanted it. Plus, they have some, and they were more of a vinyl type finish. They had a navy blue one with flowers on it that was very pretty. And it's wider. You still use the same inserts, narrow inserts in it, but it was wider. So for that book that Brenda dreamed up, where you use the baseball sleeves, it would be perfect because it was wider. They're a little bit more expensive. I don't remember how much more they were, but I didn't buy one of those either. Because how much of this junk do I need? Alright, I'm freehanding this, but my anal self is saying, get out of straight edge. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and just freehand it. And it was rainy and crappy. I think that was part of the reason my heart was not in it yesterday. I needed to go get some groceries, and I was like, I'm not even getting groceries. I'm going back over to the treatment center and hang out with Ratatouille. So, because I got to go into Grove tomorrow and get medicine, so I thought, we'll live without whatever we need until Friday. So tomorrow afternoon I'll be in town, pissing and moaning about that too. Am I on camera where you guys can see? I hadn't even thought about it. Oh, oh well. I think I can fix that. Alright, lettering's not great, but it is what it is. Did they have a lot of Timmy's Halloween goodies? You know what, Eileen? I didn't even look at the Tim Holtz. Well, I guess at Hobby Lobby I did. I walked by it and glanced over and looked at some of the oxide inks, because they do finally have the oxide inks individually. Where if I wanted to, like fill in some of my colors, I could. But I was like, I don't even want to think about it. But I didn't notice a lot of the Halloween stuff. I really didn't. My Hobby Lobby does not have a huge Tim Holtz section. The Michaels has a much larger Tim Holtz section, but I didn't even look. But I did notice yesterday, because I love the Tim Holtz tissue wrap, right, that comes in a roll, like aluminum foil. Um, they did have one that I didn't have. And then they also had a smaller roll of just the tissue that you can design yourself. It's just the actual blank paper. Now that was pretty tempting. But I thought, shoot, I have rolls of his already, and I don't use it all that much. I do love it, though. I have to say that. But yeah, there's one that I don't have. I know, hard to believe, but it's the truth. And all I'm using for an eraser is a piece of junk Magic Rub. I have every eraser known to man, except the black Eco one, which I saw it Tuesday morning and didn't buy. And my Tuesday morning, now one thing, if you guys like dies and embossing folders and stuff like that, my Tuesday morning did have a bunch of Tim Holtz dies and embossing stuff. Okay, Gene will be late streaming. Yeah, my Mike's has a fairly large Tim Holtz section, but from the looks of it, I don't think it's selling real good, Eileen. I don't think so. Get some archival. You know, the archival ink, this is how I've done it, and it works out good for me, is I waited for Joann's to have a really good online sale, and I bought all of the, well, not all of, but I bought a bunch of them. The archival inks, when they had a really, really good sale at Joann's, and bought them online. Because online, all the colors are out there. All right. So this has, I'm looking at the original lettering now, and I've blown it up so I can kind of see, and that's as far as it's going to blow up. It does have a black outline around it with some shadow on the left, or on the right, I'm sorry, and on the underneath side, the letters. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And actually, I should do this with the 3, I think. And then I'll quit using that sketch motion that I do that annoys me. Now here, when I'm doing the shadow, is also where I can make a little bit of corrections if I'm not happy with what I've done so far. Like there was a little correction there. I like doing the lettering as much as I like doing the drawing itself, for real. I've got to be a little careful because my letters are a little close together.
Sorry I get so quiet. Thinking. And I try not to go back on any of these and make corrections with white. You do always buy the inks when you buy the ink pads. I do not. I've just decided I'm not going to store all that stuff. When I need a new ink pad, I'll just buy the new ink pad. I know that sounds horrible, but that's pretty much my approach anymore. I used to buy it. Remember those, I think they were Marvy ink pads that came in so many colors, and they were like 2 by 2 inch, but they had the raised pad on them. When I bought those, I bought all the inks, and I ended up not really even using the pads that much. And then the pads, to me, started wearing out long before I could ever use the replacement ink. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to quit doing that. Because I did the same thing. I'd buy the pad, or the replacement ink, immediately I bought the pad. I don't do that anymore. I got smart, Eileen. And on black, I use it to ink the edges and everything, so the pad gets worn out. So, yeah, just order a new one. Who cares? $6, $5, whatever. It's very reasonable, whatever it is. Alright. Oh, here's one I'm messing up. Not great, but it is. Alright, I'm going to read chat. See, that's how mine get, Button. They get fluffy and messed up, so. When I got my Apollo Chromos, I got a free gift of Faber-Castell pencils, eraser, and Trio sharpening called the grip. Free trial of a Schneider Edge Page Surfer. Well, aren't you lucky, Dorothy? You can always add the inks to a paint. Yeah, you can. Yeah, the inks are useful other ways. But as far as inking the pads themselves, yeah, I gave up on doing that. In fact, I think I still have some of those little Marvy things left. Now I'm just cleaning up my lines where to me, they're. You'd think I'm submitting this to Disney to get a job or something, right? But looking at the camera, I can see things that, like that O sucks so bad. Now that is one thing I may end up fixing with white, because that is so bad. And there's no way I can make it any different, so I may go in. I'm going to white that out just a hair if I can. Yesterday I should have bought myself a couple of white pens. Or I need to order some. I've really been good about not ordering Amazon either. I haven't seen UPS guy in so long. He's probably a grandfather by now. Just encouraging my white pen to work over here. Okay, that helps somewhat. Now I can fix it, I think. Yeah, because when I bought my 120 set, all I got was the hunky UPS guy. All right, nobody's going to be looking at that anyway, so who cares? It's all right. I'll live with it. I will live with it. Now I use the 01. Actually, I'm going to use the pencil because it's barely noticeable, and these are real small letters. If I like them, I'll ink them later. I don't know if you noticed. I'll hold it up here in a minute. Yeah, this lettering pretty much sucks. Not good, but it's okay. It'll work. They had like little circus tents in the lettering. Alright, so let me draw this back in. On a couple of these, I have added a little bit of pencil shading, like I'm going to make his eye. I can't use ink on it. I guess I could use gray ink. But I just shade it with the pencil. And I should have left a little bit bigger twinkle in his eye on this one, so I'm going to add it back in with white. The dimensions of the grid, oh, they're whatever came in that pad. They're quarter inch grid. I actually did see yesterday at Michael's, they had them on sale like 60% off little journals that had the dot grid. They were $6.99 to begin with, which 60% off would have made them $3.50 plus a little bit more. So it was just a little journal for like $3. But I thought, nope, you don't need that either. I was very disciplined yesterday. I have to say, I was very disciplined. Okay, let me look at the original that I used, if I can find it again, and see if there's anything else I need to shade. I could shade in his ears, and I guess I will, but I'm going to get my other shading pencil out and a Tortillion. I haven't been shading him at all. I've been leaving him essentially black and white. But I'm going to shade his ears and a couple little things to give him a little bit more dimension. And because you knuckleheads are here, I got to do something. I guess I should sharpen this. I don't even know if I have a sharpener in here right now. I know I do, I just don't know where they are. Because I've moved them all other places. I know where this one. Is it a good deal for the dot grid? See, I couldn't even tell you if it is or not. I just felt like, you know what, I have enough, and I don't know, if I had to guess, there was maybe 100 sheets in it. And it was small. It was, say,
4 by maybe 6 by 8 or something, but it was a reduced size. I really like this M&R eraser from Germany. I need to get some replacement blades for it. Alright, so now we have at least a point on our shading pencil. I actually like it dull, to be honest, but black and white and graphite is my favorite drawing. I love black and white. In just a second, you'll see how this. I mean, it looks pretty rough right now, but when I'm done, it'll look a lot better. I promise. Oh, did I call it an eraser? Duh. Duh. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you can because the camera is really, really close. Alright, here's the little line that I left off. I'm going to put it back in.
Thanks, Eileen. Dumbo's coming right along. He's about ready to get his picture took. Go on the internet. And then I'm moving on to something else. Don't know what tomorrow's is going to be. Yesterday's I obviously had to have prepared ahead of time, so I had drawn it. Actually, the day before. But this weekend I should have time. I might have to pick up some of this shading. But that's Dumbo. Oh, you don't need a journal because you have a printer. Yeah, and see, by the time you buy the paper and the ink, I'd just soon pay somebody else to bind it up real nice for me. But yeah, you can print them any size you want. You will find loads on the internet. Yeah, and there are no silly questions, so ask away, especially if you're new to all this. Pick up some of that graphite that I don't like. Thanks, Kimmy. I could just go ahead and I guess blend it all out. Not have to pick it up. Maybe that's the best thing, is just blend it out, blend it out. And Kimmy, honestly, if you're wanting to learn to draw, and I honestly believe this, I still use a grid a lot. Use a grid and build up your confidence, and I swear, every time you pick up a pencil, you will get better. You will. And this is just a kneaded eraser. This one has definitely seen its better days. And I'm just going to lighten some of this shading a little bit. I got a little carried away, as CB would say. And this just picks up a little bit of graphite. Can you see that? And then when you pull it and twist it, the graphite goes away, and you just reuse the kneaded eraser over and over again. And you can just pick up graphite and make the shading as light as you want. Or you can use a softer lead pencil. I just love the B pencil. I love this. I almost bought new ones of these yesterday because I've got this one, and then I've got another one that's all cracked and nasty. And then I have my good set that I don't use. That's for dress up. Why do I have dress up art supplies? Don't ask me, but I do. I have some that I just don't use because they're too good or they're too pretty or whatever. Yeah. Now I'm liking his shading a little bit better. It's looking a little softer. Because, see, I like the gradation that goes from, in here to almost none at all. This down here is just still a little icky. And you can just achieve this through the use of your tortillon and your kneaded eraser. And even if you're doing Zentangle, man, you need this. So Dumbo is done. You're thinking of printing out the Zentangle dot grid templates to do some of the others. That's a good idea. Hi, Josie. So Dumbo is going to get his picture taken and go into the book. So I'll go ahead and pull the book over here. And I just did the postage edge, because when I first did it, I didn't like the no borders at all. Oh, I can't show you that because that's one that I've got already planned ahead. And I take it out. I do have one other drawing. It's sketched out, but it's not inked yet. So here's Dumbo's going to go in his little place here in the book. And you guys saw me make this cover. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see. You have a kneaded eraser but never use it? Oh my gosh. Get it out, Kimmy. If you're doing any kind of shading with graphite, these even work with colored pencil. So, yeah, get it out and practice with it, Kimmy. That is absolutely one artist tool I could never, ever, ever live without. Now that I'm not drawing, I'll turn that off because the lighting for you guys will be better. But yeah, this is one tool that I really, if you're going to draw in graphite, get one. But anyway, you've seen this before. This was day one. Snoopy, happy that it's Inktober. I'm going to try and get it down a little closer. There we go. Maybe come out a smidge. And while I've been doing these, either before or after, but at some point, I go ahead and draw them in the Beast too. So there was Snoopy, there was little Lulu. Oh, and that's the lettering I did with the brush pens last night, just to mess with them, or these new Jane Davenport pens. Here's Tweety, and that's the lettering with those pens. And see where it just it pukes out too much water occasionally. And then Popeye, I didn't like Popeye, but I didn't fix him either. So now, sometime today, I will go ahead and draw Dumbo in my Beast. And yes, you can copy the border. It doesn't matter. It's not mine. It's just there. So that was Snoopy. Little Lulu. I love little Lulu. I've got a couple that I drew just because they just bring back fond memories. Now none of these have I shaded. Yeah, they're in the Beast too. But look at Tubby jumped up because there's a little mouse down there. I like the little mouse a lot. Look at him. He's so cute. Sylvester and Tweety. And on my list, I actually had these as two separate things I was going to draw. And then I just decided some of them that you commonly saw together, I would go ahead and try and put together. But I had Tweety. I was just going to do Tweety. And had it centered originally. And then I thought, no, you know what? I've got plenty of room on this page. I'm going to throw Sylvester on too. You've never heard of Little Lulu? Karen, you might be young. Little Lulu. And I've been trying. Maybe I didn't do it on Little Lulu. Yeah, I did. Little Lulu originated in 1935 by a woman named Marjorie Henderson Buell. And I know she was popular into the 60s and maybe 70s. But yeah, you may be a little bit too young for Little Lulu. A lot of these you might be a little young for. Some of them are still around. Obviously, Tweety Bird and Sylvester, because Warner Brother owns them. But the actual artist who drew this was Bob Clampett. And then I tried to do the Sylvester and Tweety lettering over there. Let's see if Roadrunner is on the list. I can't imagine that I would have a list and not have Roadrunner on it. Let me find my list real quick. Yes, Roadrunner is on the list, as is the Tasmanian Devil. Okay, yeah, that was before your time. But Tweety and Sylvester, or at least Tweety, was created in 1942. Yeah, see, I think 50s and 60s, Josie was probably more Little Lulu. And you guys, we used to have like real live comic books. I mean, I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. I know you can go into a comic book trading store or something like that and get them, but like used to be, comic books were everywhere. Everywhere. So that's Tweety and Sylvester. Then we had Popeye. I ended up loving the lettering on Popeye. Loved the lettering on Popeye. And after they're done, I try not to critique them. When they're done, they're done. I'm done with them. But I could say, oh, I wish his head was whatever, whatever. I don't critique them. When they're done, they're done. When they're inked, that's it. So, but there was a lot of different Popeyes that, boy, I had trouble choosing which one I really wanted to do a Popeye, because Popeye is so expressive. I mean, I could have had the smoke coming out of his mouth. I could have done spinach. There was so many. And Brutus, I mean, I could have included Brutus. And now today it's just Dumbo. Dumbo's pretty simple. Yeah, the newspapers used to have just a page of just nothing but comics. Yeah. Well, they still do, but they're stupid. I think today's comics, except a couple of them, but the couple that I really liked that were in the newspaper every day, both of them quit drawing. So anyway, if you have requests for cartoons, turn them in, because, well, last year I thought I'd continue drawing toys, but I ended up not drawing toys after it was over. November is a hard month for me. There's a lot going on in November usually. So if you have a request, say so now. Eileen, I know your request. And so I have to still look up and write on the edge when Dumbo, here, I've got it actually, I'll flip over to that page. Dumbo was created in 1941, produced by Walt Disney Productions. I guess the first person who drew, because the storyline was written by Helen Aberson and illustrated by Harold Pearl. Anyway, it doesn't really assign an artist to Dumbo. Probably if you work for Disney or Warner Brothers or any of those, my guess is you learn to draw all of them. Like you'd learn Dumbo, you learn Mickey Mouse, you learn Donald Duck, you learn all of them. Archie and Jughead. What if I don't include Jughead, Eileen? The baby came from Archie and Jughead? I remember them in black and white, not the color ones. Yeah. Well, it used to be comic books were color, but they were all done with that halftone dot grid, so and I'm not drawing on the back of the sheets, obviously, because I'm having a little bit of bleed through, which is fine with me. Some of them, like Dumbo, won't have any. Well, maybe a little bit down here, but you'll get upset. Uh-oh, I'm in big trouble. I am in big trouble. Because you want to see the one I have drawn, Eileen? I can't keep a secret from you, Eileen. You suck so bad. Do you want to see? No, I'm not going to show it. Never mind. You can just wait. I'm not going to show it. Because it's like in my little stash for later. Big Brother used to get the Dandy comic. I've never even heard a Dandy comic. I'm probably not going to do the ones that look like these. You know. yeah, I'm not going to do the ones that have comic women or something like that. That's, at least that's my plan right now, is that I probably won't. I'm going to stick to the ones that have a, no, I'm not going to show it. I'll make you wait. It might be tomorrow's or the next days. I don't, it depends on if I go to my brother's on Sunday and I need one. Um, yeah, you can see I like comics, but I won't be doing any of these like this, like the war heroes. I won't do that or that. Yeah. I remember some of these, like Scream Comics. I do remember that. And look at the price on it, 10 cents. Tom and Jerry, let me see if they're on the list. She is going to misbehave. I'm not going to show it. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is not on the list, but I can add it real quick. But I don't even know if I'm going to get to all these, you guys. I really don't. But I don't have Tom and Jerry down. I don't know if I was much of a Tom and Jerry fan. And a lot of them, a lot of you may not know. I think you Brits probably had the same as we did. Probably some additional, but I'll bet you had a lot of the American cartoons. Dennis the Menace, of course I have Dennis. That's like drawing Robert Vaughn. I'm trying to stay away from a bunch of the Disney ones, because obviously Disney has more probably cartoon type characters than anybody else. Warner Brothers has a million of them. And then some I have on the list are not vintage. But yeah, Dennis the Menace will definitely be one. And I'll probably try and include his mother and father. Or Mr. Wilson. I haven't decided yet which I'll do. But you guys are like comic slowpokes if you haven't come up with much as more than that. I'm going to make you wait, Eileen. I am. I was this close to showing it. This close? But Hagar? No, now Hagar probably is not vintage. Because he wasn't around when I was a child. And most of the ones I'm drawing were around when I was a child. Big Brother is called Dennis, and he's always been a menace. Yep. Robert Vaughn, honest to God, if you see Robert's, if I come across one of Robert's pictures from when he was a kid, you would swear to God it was a drawing. Dennis the Menace was a drawing of Robert Vaughn. And then if you knew his behavior, you would be like, hands down, that is Dennis the Menace, because he is Dennis the Menace. I am mean. You haven't heard of Hagar? I've heard. I like Hagar, actually. But that's not vintage. He's fairly recent. Foot Rot Flats. Foot Rot Flats. I never even heard of that. Now, is that an American one? Foot Rot Flats. All right. I'll look it up on my Kindle and we'll see. Maybe I recognize the characters. Maybe I just don't know the characters. I'm mean. Eileen's pouting in case you guys are wondering. Come on. Go back to the search screen. Foot Rot Flats. Oh, no, I've never seen this. Okay, I'll show you guys. Here's the images for Foot Rot Flats. Never heard of it. By Murray Ball. Does anybody else remember this? Oh, he would be fun to draw. Good day. It's a Kiwi comic. Okay. Oddly enough, on my screen, these are pretty blurry, but when I look at the screen that you guys see, they're very clear. I've never seen this before, Monique, ever. He's cute, though. He is very cute, but most Americans, honestly, would not know this. So I don't want to hurt your feelings, Monique, but I probably will not be drawing it because nobody I know would even know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, I almost put that picture up there. Yeah, probably not be doing foot rot flats. Just looking up. What year is it from? Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew is, in fact, on the list. Felix the cat is not. Believe it or not, I don't even have Mickey Mouse. Now, this is a picture of Popeye that I would have loved to draw. I may go back and redraw some of them because this one I really considered drawing. Underdog. Do you guys remember Underdog? Andy Panda. There's a bunch of them that, like this guy. Who is this guy? Does anybody recognize him? I don't know who he is, but he's cool looking. He would be fun to draw. You have PJs of Pepe? Cool. I don't have that. I do have PJs with monkeys on them. There's an old Popeye right there. And a lot of these comics, honestly, have changed through the years, you guys. Pink Panther. I think the Pink Panther is on the list. There's that same guy again. I don't know who he is. Lucky Leo, Leo Lion. Oh, I forgot him. What was he called, you guys? Something Devil. Oh, what was his name? I have to include him. The Devil. Somebody think of what that devil's name was. Eileen, you're old enough. You should know. Little Devil? Was that his name? I don't think that was his name. A Little Devil. That was his name? And Wimpy. And I've got Taz on the list. And I don't even know if Tasmanian Devil is vintage, frankly. I don't even have you got a screen on right now. I'm looking up Tasmanian Devil. There's certain things a girl just has to look up. That's also a Warner Brothers cartoon. And his name was first revealed in 1957 in a short film called Bedeviled Rabbit. But his wife called him Claude. What the heck? See, I like reading this stuff. So I don't know. If he first appeared in 1957, I think he would qualify. You're not a comic person? Okay, well, I just figured she was old enough that some of these she could relate to. Your laptop completely died. Oh no. See if you can get it restarted. And I can't remember the name of this guy either. Something, it wasn't Huckleberry Hound, was it? See if somebody can remember. Maybe it was Huckleberry Hound. But he's cute too. He would be fun. Magilla Gorilla is definitely on the list because my sister calls me Merly Gorilla. Chili Willy is not on the list, but he was cute. I have the Flintstones on the list, but I don't know which of them. That's Huckleberry Hound right there. Little Lotta is on the list. There's Brutus. Mickey Mouse. I don't know if Mickey Mouse or Mighty Mouse. I even know the song from that. Mr. Magoo. Oh, I almost have to do Mr. Magoo, huh? Because I don't have him on the list either. But Mr. Magoo is a good one. Who is the moose? Bullwinkle. And I don't think I have Bullwinkle on the list either. God, I could be drawing this for a whole year, you guys. Betty Boop is on the list. Oh, Petunia Pig. Oh my gosh. I'm getting some really good ones. Top Cat, Bullwinkle, yep. God, this is like a walk down memory lane. There's Underdog. Tom and Jerry. I don't know who that duck was. Touche Turtle. I'd forgotten about him too. And that's that dog that used to go I forget his name too. That's Felix, the cat. Gonzalez. What's Speedy Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez would be a good one. I'm writing these down because I may just keep on making myself draw them. God, he's a mean-looking freak, isn't he? Look at that. Eileen, is his name Joe? He's a badass-looking guy, man. And look at this one. I don't know who this is either. That's pretty freaky looking. Now, he should be for Halloween, don't you think? But actually, I do have my idea for Halloween, so. Deputy Dog. I'd forgotten about Deputy Dog. So many of these you just don't see anymore. Muttley from Dudley Do-Right. Okay. Yeah, Josie and the Pussycats. I'd forgotten about them. I don't even know who that is. I'm pretty sure Porky Pig is on the list. Because I like Porky. I like Porky a lot. There's Pepe Le Pew. You're right. That is Muttley from Dudley Do-Right. Huckleberry Hound. And look at this. Like, this is a really old one. Oh, you guys can't hardly see it. What the heck is that about? I never saw it before. Touche Turtle. I'd forgotten. Give me the name. Dastardly Deeds. Yes. Woody Woodpecker. I don't know if Woody's on the list. Oh, I'm going to have so much to choose from, you guys. And Bullwinkle and Rocky, I have them. The Flintstones, I think, is on the list. This is another Popeye that I looked at like, oh my gosh, I'd like Popeye with spinach. It's a hard thing to try and pick out which one you're going to draw every day. There's Jetsons. Little Devil. I had forgotten about that Little Devil. I will be drawing Little Devil for sure. Because I forgot how much. Yeah, see, there's a really, really old Popeye right there. That's a real old one. You have to drink to read comics. Well, you have to. Here's another old, old Popeye. There's olive oil for you, Eileen. That's Popeye's cowboy. See, and it makes me think, next year I could do like 30 days of nothing but Popeye. Like there's so many to choose from. Elmer Fudd. Elmer will probably appear with bugs. There's another old Popeye. There's Muttley. There's his name, Muttley. I have Blondie on there. Johnny Quest. My brothers like Johnny Quest. I didn't particularly. Pepe Le Pew. Elmer Fudd. Casper. So yeah, there's the Roadrunner. Magilla Gorilla. There's Sweet Pea. I love Sweet Pea. Wally Gator. That's right, Wally Gator. Wow, Monique, you are thinking of a lot of them. I'm going the wrong way again. Oops. Wally Gator. I'd forgotten about him. But used to be too. Quick Draw McGraw. Like on Saturday mornings, we would get up early before Mom and Dad. Well, my dad was always an early riser, but sometimes, if we were in town. And we had to be real quiet, but we'd turn on cartoons and sit and watch cartoons. Look at, take that, Coyote. Deputy Dog. Yeah, there's enough here. I could draw the rest of my life, frankly. Garfield. See, Garfield is not Little Dot. I will be drawing Little Dot. She was another one of my favorites. Did you not like Little Dot, Eileen? What the hell was wrong with you? Half of these you never heard of? You must have, I don't know. Where did you live, Eileen? Where did you live? Rocky and Bullwinkle. Chilly Willy. I'd forgotten about him. George of the Jungle. Betty Boop was my mom's favorite. Schoolhouse Rock isn't that old because I was grown before that came around. Seeing if I draw Dennis, I was thinking I'd include his mom and dad, but I almost wish I'd include Margaret. It's so hard deciding, you guys. It's so hard. Anyway, you don't want to sit and look at this because this is what I do all day. Sit and look at. Yeah, Little Dot. Yeah, a lot of them. It's just like you remember them. They're back in your memory from when you were a kid, but you don't hardly ever think of them. So, yeah. So that's the book. It's slowly, slowly coming together. I'll put this secret page back in so Eileen can't see it. It's in there, Eileen, but you can't see it. You want to see? It's almost in there. Nope, you can't see. Who the heck is Qbert? The name is familiar, but I don't know. Qbert. Who's talking about Qbert? Who is that rooster? Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry, I flipped by it too quick. You didn't like cartoons either? Yeah, see, there were only some. Like if they were, hell, I like Scooby-Doo. I like Scooby-Doo, but see, I was grown when that was on, but the kids would watch Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. Are you kidding? I liked the song. I liked his voice. I liked everything about Scooby. Qbert. All right, we're going to look up Qbert and see. because I don't know who Qbert is. Go all the way back to the top. All right, here we go. I did Qbert. Is that who you're talking about, Eileen? Foghorn Leghorn? Foghorn Leghorn. I think that's new. I don't think that's old. Qbert. 1982. It's an arcade game developed and published by Gottlieb in 1982. I think that's what you're talking about, Eileen. It's a logo for a arcade game. Never played it, and my kids never played it, surprisingly, either. So that's something that got by me. Maybe I've heard of it, but don't know anything about it. Yeah, see, Monique is like an expert on this stuff. But actually, Qbert is kind of cute, and he would be fun to draw. He would be fun for the shading alone. He would be easy because he's nothing more than a circle. You know, he's a few circles, but his shading would be really fun. But he's not vintage. But I'm going to write him down. I may end up drawing him just because I like him. He's cute. So, but that's pretty much what I had planned for today, you guys. Arting, and I was going to make myself do other responsible things before I arted anymore. So, you have to be weird to like this stuff. Well, look at me. I watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey and Survivor, and I like cartoons. I guess that makes me weird. In Eileen's book, I got to take Dumbo out so I don't forget to photograph him, actually. Okay, you had a boring childhood with 3 TV channels and hardly any of our own content, so we had a lot of vintage shows. Okay. Draw Q for Eileen. Alright, I'll put Qbert next to Eileen. Or Eileen next to Qbert. Actually, I was going to do an entire body of olive oil for Eileen because she's such a whiny crybaby. I'm pretty proud to be weird. Survivor and cartoons, exactly. So anyway, if you watch this on YouTube, thanks so much. We'll catch you next time.